Imagine the new world, the world where you don't have to pay taxes and the government is only responsible for helping you with the law, with execution of the law, in making sure that the law is followed and that there is no crime. Okay? But all of the stuff that right now are provided by governments around the world, in many developed countries, that responsibility fall on you and only you. But you don't have to pay taxes. You take that money that you would pay in taxes, and you can decide whether you want to have the private healthcare, whether you would like to have police insurance, whether you would like to have firefighter insurance, whether you would like to have some contract, maybe, like I said, for healthcare. The schools are not public but private, and yeah, everything is provided. Like all of the stuff that you want, you need to decide that you want to spend money on, because nothing is provided by government. But also, there is no people in the government who are actually taking all of the money from taxes and not getting paid for it, I would say. So there is no much of the politicians, because there is nothing to really rule except of the laws. And so now imagine that world where all of the stuff are based, let's say, on the subscription. You pay for subscription healthcare, but the healthcare is good. It's not public, it's good. And because everyone is doing that, the quality of it is much better than it would be on the public side, because public obviously have some kind of budget. And so now imagine that instead of having one big hospital in the city, you have 10 small hospitals that are run privately. There you can buy the insurance for yourself or your family, and because they know that every month they will get certain amount of money, they can run it more efficiently and with better quality. So that's one of the assumptions, obviously. Now think about, let's say, police, or let's say schools. You don't have public schools where you have at least 30, 50 kids. You have many smaller schools with smaller groups of kids, where actually parents want to, if they want to send the kids to that small school, they need to pay the fee, obviously. And because of that, the school is run better, more efficiently, because it's run privately. The kids are getting much more attention because the groups of kids are much smaller. So the education is provided on the much higher level. We can say, let's say, with the firefighters, where everyone is paying monthly subscription to firefighters, so they are able to buy all of the equipment they need. We have 10 different companies in the city who are providing those services, and they all, I would say, work seamlessly together if there is a need. So at the end of the day, you don't need to pay taxes, and you have a choice. What do you want to do with your life, and how would you like to run your life? There is obviously a lot of disadvantages of that system, and you probably will tell me more about what kind of disadvantages there are. I would love to hear them, obviously. And I would love to hear whether you would prefer to live in that kind of society that we are living right now, where you have public services, where you need to pay taxes regardless. So yeah, the question is whether you would prefer to live in that kind of society where you don't need to pay taxes but you need to provide for yourself, or whether you would prefer to live in the society where all of it is provided by government, on the level that, let's say, it's provided. Let's say that the government is taking 20%, so the service is provided. Okay, but nothing really special. Maybe you would be willing to give up 40% of your taxes, like in Scandinavian countries, where everyone is happy to actually give away 40%, and the government is putting actually that money into providing those services at a high level. The question then raises whether the government is actually doing that stuff properly, because it may not, right? They may get the taxes and may choose to spend that money differently, like in many countries, unfortunately. So I would like to know your opinion, which one of those options you would prefer to live in, because there definitely will be split between people, strong split, I would say. There will be a lot of people, I would imagine, that would prefer to live in the society where they pay, let's say, 20% or 40% of the taxes and have everything provided because it's easier. But with the government who actually cares, which I think is one of the most difficult parts of that. But there will be also a lot of people who would prefer the other option that I presented, where everything is privatized, where the efficiency of everything is run on the highest level because everything is privatized. So if you want to survive on the market, you need to provide high quality services for low prices. So I can imagine a lot of people would prefer that because, you may not want to send your kid to the school, therefore you're not going to pay for that. Maybe you would prefer to teach them at home, So then you don't have to pay taxes for that. You don't have to pay taxes, right? Maybe you are very careful about what's going on in terms of the, fires at your home. And or you have some kind of tools that will prevent from the fires. So you don't need to pay firefighters for it. Or maybe you have some kind of insurance that will allow you to burn your house and it's going to be still okay. And then you don't need to pay for firefighters. And obviously if there will be a group of people in certain area of the city or country that doesn't need firefighters, the service for firefighting will be unnecessary over there, which is a little bit weird, and obviously we can discuss that, or the advantages of this or the advantages of it. But, it's an option, right? I'm just trying to show over here that there are different options that society could be created, and that right now we are living in the really closed society where majority of the times, whether it's in US, in Europe, in Africa, really we have the democratic system where everyone has to pay taxes, except of the rich obviously, but the services provided to us are on the really low level, and somehow the money that we are paying are not really used efficiently, at least in my opinion. Maybe you have other way of thinking again about that. So that's why I would like to know your opinion about that, because maybe there are some other solutions, like paying more in taxes, or like getting some kind of better understanding, or getting some kind of better way of managing government or making decisions in the government. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about that. That's what I was thinking really today. It's Saturday, it's 11:30. Thank you very much for today. Good night, and I see you tomorrow.